It is the Matt Mosley Show. We are live here at Rogue Media Network. You may notice a little different situation here. Really have upgraded my surroundings. Brought in a huge work crew to my place in Dallas, and we tore a lot of things down, did some drywall, and so we have a new situation. No, I am at the mothership. I am at Rogue. Man, I saw other people taping shows. Scotty, as I act each day and as I act towards you, I like to think that I am the only employee here at Rogue that you deal with, but there are others. And Elizabeth's in here hanging out with us today. She's got a big show at 7:30 every morning, and where we talk about Waco events. ACT. I like that. I'm going to put that into my rotation here. I wrote that down. ACT. Yeah. And ACT Waco. I'm making things up now, but I like what she does. And she is a Baylor graduate, and so that puts her ahead of a lot of people in life. Great to have everybody in with us today. And I have to say, I'll be even more distracted than usual because I've just noticed out to my right, a beautiful view, and just the beautiful view of Waco. I can see almost out to the lake from here. I think I see Ridgewood Country Club. I certainly see folks on Washington, and then I can see Waco Drive. Is that where I'm looking, Scotty? Is that correct? Is that about right?
Just about, yes.
Okay. And so what I'll do during today's show, I'm going to provide traffic updates because I can see everything I need to see. And some of the major arteries here in Waco, I can look out. What floor are we on? The 21st floor?
Yes, sir, 21st.
Are you sure you want me to give our location?
Oh, we say it on Pete's show all the time.
Do you? The security here is very kind. I would say, don't make anybody mad, Scotty, because I came rolling right on up here without too much interference, okay? Maybe it was just they thought, there's Mosley. He's a Baylor guy. He's from around here. But anyway, just don't make anybody mad is all I would tell you. It is happy first day of the NFL season. It is Thursday. Kickoff is tonight. I would say 7:20, whatever NBC's listing this as. And now that, Scotty, sometimes you like me to pull back the curtain and tell you about what's this guy like? What's this person like? If you ever wondered to yourself, is that Mike Tirico? Is that a nice guy? You know me, Scotty. I'll tell you who's not nice and who is nice. The answer would be Tirico is awesome. And in that book about ESPN, the original book, Tirico got, whatever he was involved with, they gave him a little bit of a hard time. I will tell you, of all the people I worked with at ESPN, maybe one of the nicest people I was ever around. And so for a while, I would travel to every Monday night football game. And so one of those seasons, I went to all 16 or however many they do. They may not do that last week. 15 straight Monday night football games. Scotty, so I was at a game Sunday, and then I would get on a plane Monday morning and be wherever the Monday night football game was that. And so it was post Dennis Miller. It was, when I was doing it, it was John Gruden and Tirico. And they're both great to deal with and enjoyed it. Kornheiser was involved at one point. So I must have gotten a couple of seasons of Monday Night Football because I do remember I remember one night getting trapped outside Lincoln Financial Field and with no ride and no access to anywhere and I couldn't get a taxi. And in true Philly form, I held not a taxi, nor Uber did not exist back then. I called a cop over, and a policeman in South Philly, and there I was in the back of a police car looking like I'd done something. He took me to my hotel. Where do you think I was staying that night, Scotty Swingler?
How about the Hilton Garden?
It was the Ritz-Carlton. And so that is a little bit of a funny thing to ask.
Very nice.
It is a funny thing to ask a cop in Philly if they could drop me off at the Ritz-Carlton. So I pulled up in the back of a police car. Yeah, at the old Ritz-Carlton. Mosley is dumped off there. And the reason I thought of that is because the first person I saw as I entered the Ritz-Carlton that night was Tony Kornheiser. And it would have been after a game. And what I don't remember is if Kornheiser was in one of those, if it was like, I feel like Tirico and there was some weird chemistry between whoever was doing the games at that time in Kornheiser. Now, the one Monday Night Football announcer that was great and they moved on from quickly, I think, Scotty, if I ask you who is the best college football play-by-play guy, TV guy in the country right now, who would you say? And I think I have a very obvious answer, but it doesn't have to be your answer. Do you have someone? Thank you, Dyco, by the way, for my coffee today. I don't know. I mean, until you pay full freight, I'll give you the rest of the name. But thank you for what you've presented. Scotty, what a beautiful, whatever Scotty ordered today. It was I get over there, Scotty, and I haven't looked at my text. I'm getting Swingler. I said, hey, you've been working hard. I'll get you a coffee, which to me means like coffee black, just drip coffee. I get over there and I look at what Scotty has texted me, and the two words that came up were hocus pocus.
Hocus pocus.
Hocus focus. And it's some kind of, and then they put like 7 ingredients. I get it. And they're trying to get you to focus, I guess, with the caffeine. But boy, with Scotty's, they put a little design, had a beautiful little tree or some kind of emerald forest or whatever they put on there. But Scotty was glad to bring that to you and hope that's good. I hope that's good. It was
delicious, and I already finished it.
Man. Thank you, Dyco. Thank you for what you do. Can't wait for the next pirate night over there. Pirates of the Caribbean. Okay. They love a good theme over there, and I want to be a part of the next one. Who would you guess, Scotty, is the worst thing you could do, Scotty, is give me an audience. Just knowing Elizabeth's over there, I'm just like, I'm a little bit of a punchy, but that's okay.
We love it.
Yeah, that's good.
We love it.
Look at you over there with your Johnny Cash. You got a good little,
my corner
area over there. Yeah,
I got that Johnny Cash book for my birthday.
Glad people can't see Oh, you did?
I did.
The Life and Lyrics. That looks more like a coffee table.
It is a coffee table book, yeah.
Not one that you would actually take the time. Did you take the time to breeze through there and read it?
I've read a little bit of it.
Who gave that to you?
My sister.
That's nice.
She knows me very well.
I am
obsessed with Johnny Cash.
How old's your sister?
5 years younger than me, so
okay.
She just turned 28.
Oh, wow. You turned 33 the other day.
I did. Yeah. Thank you for the reminder.
There was somebody famous that was 33 at one point. What?
Matt Mosley.
No.
Oh.
All of us were that have made it past 33, but I was thinking
is that how that works?
I was thinking of of someone that we spend our Sundays thinking about. Okay. I just remember what was it?
Tony Romo. He was 33.
Stop it.
That guy?
No, what was the one where Owen Wilson was talking about? You remember what was it? Meet the Fockers. Anyway, I just had a flashback to
somebody
that show.
Did say to me, I don't know if I should share this. Somebody at my other job said to me, 33, Scotty, it's gonna be your best year. That's how long Jesus lived.
That's what I was referencing.
To which to which someone replied, that's the year Jesus died.
Yeah.
To which the immediate reply was, but it's also the year that he rose again.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
So it's gonna be my best year ever, Matt.
Yeah. It's very okay. All right. Well, I think it doesn't need the drama of a resurrection. I think that would be.
You don't think
much.
I should try to pull that one off?
No, I think no. I'm afraid.
Don't try this at home.
No,
folks.
If I'm the one trying to roll away the
Leave
stone,
this to the professionals.
If I'm trying to roll away the stone, you could be in trouble. All right. It's the Mosley Show, live from the studios high above Waco. At Rogue Media Network. This is a fun place. As I walked in here, there was another well-known podcaster doing a show. They said she's done 12 shows this week. I'm like, I've barely done one. I don't know why anybody would work that hard, but she really seemed like someone that's been at a desk and has been on TV for a while, and it does a nice job. So enjoyed meeting Ann Harder. Check out her show on our various platforms. All right. Where was I? Oh, who is the best, in your mind, the best play-by-play announcer TV-wise
for college football?
For college football, who would you say?
Man, I really, really, really like Chris Fowler.
Okay, that's fine, although. I still think a Fowler is more of the game day, and I know he didn't do it anymore.
It's been 10 years.
But he's the game. But I know, but he will always, like Reese does a fine job. But that was Fowler's huge moment.
But,
I even remember when he used to do high school. Like, that's what he came on doing with ESPN, was like talking about like high school stuff.
For me, a lot of that too is not just the connection with Fowler in the broadcast, in which I think he does a great job. Is that he's also the voice of the broadcast on the video game.
Oh, okay.
So, and
well,
Reese does some on the video game too, but Chris Fowler is the big game broadcaster on the video game. So I've heard him call many a fictional football game in addition to the regular Saturday night game on ABC.
Okay, my pick would be Sean McDonough. I think he's
fantastic.
I think he's incredible. And it's not just because he mentioned me during the Big 12 championship game against Oklahoma State. I did get a shout out on that one. He said, Matt Mosley, who told me about who came in that game that went to Mississippi State. Blake came into that game, Shapen. And he said, and he started talking about his baseball background. And he's like, and he references
stuck with baseball.
And Sean, God, folks, I'm sorry. He's in such a foul
You're in the
mood
room today, Matt. We gotta get the zingers going.
I'd say so. I mean, it's just very rude. I like what Shapen did. Maybe Baylor made the wrong choice. The guy y'all had on the show just the other day, I believe it was on, please bear with me, Gary Bohannon, and love seeing that. Love seeing him back, one of Baylor's most beloved players. Sean McDonough would be the correct answer, although I like Chris Fowler, and I get what you're saying. There's if you have reasons that are sort of sentimental reasons, that's a fine reason to like a play-by-play person. I just think there are few people, Musburger, Keith Jackson, Nestler a little bit, but not quite as much. There are few voices now that you hear the voice, and just by the nature of their voice, it kind of sets the tone. Joe Buck has that, but has the gravitas of like their voice raises the level of the event. And I would say Joe Tessitore tried too hard. He wanted to have that. To have it, you can't try real hard. You just have to have it. Vern Lundquist had it, all right, just because by the very nature of his presentation and how he sounded. But I would go with Sean McDonough when it comes to that. Let me, and we'll pour some of this into our, my gosh, it's shocking how much I can talk sometimes. We're going to have our man Pete Sousa pop in here in a few minutes, and about 1:30, and we'll visit with him. I did have something, Scotty, I wanted to bring back up. You and I, as part of Campus Confidential, which we'll do like after Pete. We'll talk to Pete for 15 minutes or whatever, and we'll do a little 10 or 15 minutes. We'll do a little campus, and then we got a lot on the table today because Scotty and I are doing some things to get us ready for our big Saturday green and gold game day pregame, which you need to check out before the SMU, 2 hours before kickoff. So that will be on at 9 o'clock. And so Scotty and I will be working on some of that stuff. But Scotty, you remember the story you had for Campus Confidential. And it was that Barstool, Ross Dellinger had this report that Brett Yormark and the Big 12 ADs met with Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports for like 40 minutes on a conference call or whatever, and that they offered him a blank slate for engagement opportunities. First of all, if you're handing out blank slates, Rogue would like to step up. We already have Pete Sousa on that Inside the 12 show. I mean, Scotty and I are ready for battle, and, we know the Big 12 about as well as anybody. I mean, some of the other folks, first of all, okay, but I'll leave us out of this. The blank slate of Barstool Sports, I did a little bit of poking around. I don't sense this was like all the Big 12 ADs were on this call. All right. And I can think of two brands right away in this conference from a brand alignment standpoint that would not align very well with Barstool Sports. And that would be BYU and that would be Baylor. And there may be others. I just can't speak to the DNA of in the history of like UCF or Cincinnati. I would think they would probably be okay with Barstool. Every school has people. Don't get me wrong. Barstool is incredibly popular. And what finally gave me some street cred with some Baylor kids was when Baylor students, when I went on the Pardon My Take with Big Cat and PFT Commenter one time. And suddenly it was like, oh my gosh, we saw your appearance there. I'm like, well, I've only been doing this for like 20 years. But it was like I did not even exist until I went on Barstool. So I get it. What I don't like is this kind of grab, like, please make us look cool. We know you got this deal, Portnoy, with the Big Ten, and you're a Michigan guy, and you're a huge Big Ten, and y'all have that partnership. But we desperately want to be cool and to appeal to the 18 to 26-year-olds. So here is your blank slate. You don't have to do that. First of all, take care of your member schools. To me, and I like Brett Yormark, and he's actually a friend. Somewhat. He's an acquaintance. But, Scotty, you got to kind of make sure everybody's on board before you start offering blank slates. You think BYU has any interest in doing this with Barstool? No. Do you think Baylor, maybe some of the students, maybe even a few young folks in the athletic department, but do you think the Baylor athletics and even above, the regents, Linda Livingstone, the president, Dr. Livingstone, do you think they have like a lick of interest into doing this deal with Barstool Sports? Not on your life. So I just say, let's calm this thing down a little bit, and let's be a little careful in how we present this, because somebody from the Big 12 office said to Ross Dellinger, use the phrase blank slate. And I think that was an overstatement. And I think if there was a blank slate given, there's some people in this conference who would not be that happy about it. And one of them is right here on this fair campus that I can see. Actually, I'm looking out the other side of the building, but I can almost, if they would put another window in here, I could look out at that beautiful Baylor campus and look upon Pat Neff. And I would simply say to the whispers, to the ghost of Baylor's past, I would say, Dr. Reynolds, Abner V. McCall, do you want to be in business with Barstool? And they would whisper back to me, no. We do not want to have anything to do with Barstool Sports. It is the Mosley Show. We continue on. Live show from the studio. Pete Sousa standing by to visit with us. We'll talk to Pete Sousa of the Pete Sousa Show, a heavily watched, heavily downloaded show. He'll join us next.
When Central National Bank decided to partner with Baylor women's basketball, we didn't know exactly what that partnership would look like.
What brings you into the bank today?
For the last couple of months, I've been noticing a charge on my account, and I would like to block it.
I see. So you have a charge.
Yes?
And you'd like to block it?
Yes.
I think you should take the charge.
What?
Yeah, I definitely think you should take the charge.
I don't think you understand.
Sometimes you just have to take one for the team.
Is there a manager available?
We love that Coach Collin is all about the team. Once we get the vocabulary down, the sky's the limit.
Central National Bank, proud partner of Baylor Athletics and Baylor Women's Basketball.
I have Mac Rhodes, director of Baylor Athletics, on the phone. Mac, can you tell Peggy why she should take the charge?
Of course she should take the charge. Wait, are you at the bank again? And who is Peggy?
Football season is back, and Underdog is the best place for you to make picks and win money all season long. And playing on Underdog, it's easy. Even I can do it. You just pick whether your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on particular stats like touchdowns or even interceptions, and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. And you can play with as little as $1. So this week, let me show you what I'm looking at. This week, I am picking two of my favorite teams, and some of their best players. For Thursday night's big game, Dallas at Philadelphia, I've got George Pickens going over 49.5 receiving yards. Good debut for him. And we know it's going to happen against a great defense like the Eagles. Dak Prescott higher than half an interception thrown. For the big game Saturday, Baylor at SMU. My guy Bryson Washington is going to get into the end zone. I've got him at higher than half of a rushing or receiving touchdowns. And listen, Baylor looked awful against the quarterback run last week, so I've got Kevin Jennings of SMU rushing for more than 29.5 yards. And hey, if you want to play along with me today, you can sign up with a promo code Mosley to score $50 in a bonus fund when you play your first $5. You play $5, you'll get $50 in a bonus fund. That's promo code Mosley. Millions of fans have already made billions making picks on Underdog. Will you be next? Underdog. Make picks. Win money. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467-369.
UCF.
Yeah, UCF. Yeah. Hey, what's up? What's up? We're on. Oh, it's the Mosley Show. I was just talking off air to my good friend Pete Sousa, and we're gonna have Pete on, and Pete's making his way. He's got to catch a flight, and oh, look at that, Pete! They've put a beautiful. My gosh, Pete does seem like a turtleneck guy. He's a guy.
Once in a while.
He's one of the few people that can pull off the turtleneck and the sport coat. Oh, to be thin. Oh, to be athletic, to wear an athletic cut. And it's really, Pete, one of the great things, and it's great to have you as you get ready for UCF, Central Florida versus North Carolina A&T. And you'll fly out there, meet with the coaches, visit with some folks. And then what do they call that? Isn't there like a nickname for like a bounce house or something? What do they have out there?
They call it the bounce house. Yeah, it gets crazy in there.
What do we think that place holds, the bounce house? And do we?
I want to say 45. I want to say that might be generous. But I've been in there. I was there. I did a game there in 2018. I was working as a spotter, and they really had it going. UCF did, and it is. I mean, I don't know that it'll be like that on Saturday night. They play North Carolina A&T, but that place has a reputation, and it's earned for getting pretty crazy and getting pretty loud.
Were you a good spotter? I mean, were you someone that was like pretty quick? And did you use like a pointer? Did you have a long little pointer, or would you literally
just my finger? I used just my finger. And Eric Collins used to give me a hard time because he said, of course, the guy from Philly points with his middle finger. But I didn't mean to do that on purpose. But I was good. There was a time when I was not good. And then there was a time when I got much better. But it's a hard job. I mean, It's a lot of practice.
Yeah, let me tell you, the one broadcast I would not want to spot for in the world. I would spot for any broadcast in the world except Midway football.
Oh my God.
That's the one, because I could not handle that kind of pressure. I promise you that he does a good job, but he demands a lot.
As a play-by-play guy, I will tell you this.
Yeah, I
should know. Like, there's certain stuff I know when a play-by-play guy has not been prepared and has tried to shove it up on me, right? And I also know when a guy is prepared, because if a guy's prepared, he's not going to look to you for too much. He knows the team. He'll just look to you in big moments and for kind of like the little stuff, So I hope that's all my spotter will be looking for from me, just little stuff.
Yeah, and you're one of the rare play-by-play guys that played the game at the collegiate level, and that does give you a little bit of a little more of a layer, and it's not like you try to lead with that and bring that up a lot. In fact, you always play up who you're with. In fact, you know, and the one guy you're with in basketball, I wish you wouldn't play him up quite as much. But anyway, you know who I'm talking about. He
Midway basketball?
No. I'm talking about.
I got you.
I'm talking about when you do college basketball. There's one of your teammates. I'm like, ugh, this guy drives me.
Yeah,
nuts.
but we made up. We're like buddies now.
Well, that's fine. I don't want to be. I mean, I do not want to make up, and I just want to continue to have the thoughts I have toward him. All right, that's more comfortable to me. Man, I could get used to this. I'm not threatening to just move here permanently, but I can see how you would enjoy being in a studio setting on a daily basis, because it just kind of it brings back memories for years. For a decade, I was in Dallas radio studio every day, and to be in here and to see, I mean, you could just imagine, watch like all the things Scotty's doing. I got no clue what he's doing, by the way, but to watch
he's the man behind the curtain. He's not doing a whole lot.
Racing around the room. Elizabeth's in here. Got no clue what she's up to. She's getting concert tickets, talking about whoever's coming to town. Although I understand that one concert. Now, Pete, did you have any interest in going to that country, the Red Dirt Festival or whatever have to come to McLean? Okay, you didn't. You're from Philly, and you'd rather see like
Darby Brown told me about it. I had Darby on the show a little while ago. She told me all about it. She was really excited about it.
How's she doing? She's in Austin now. Is she doing okay?
She's doing good. Yeah, she's kind of cleaning up down there. Like as a sports reporter that goes down to a place like Austin, you sort of have to wait your turn. Like I know they didn't take her to the women's Final Four, which you kind of are like, hey, what the heck? But ultimately, she's already ascended up the ranks, and she's, you got to sort of wait your turn there. She's really good, but she's doing well.
Yeah. Did you want to list some
CBS Austin?
Yeah. No, that's great, Pete. Did you want to list some of the other places she didn't get to go to?
No, I don't. But I'm just saying it takes a minute,
Yeah. All right, Pete Sousa, the Pete Sousa Show, and man. He's got that look like, hey, come in here to the fireplace. Come in here and sit down next to me, and I'm going to tell you some things up on the screen right now. Now, Pete, as you get ready to go catch this flight, now the bounce house is an interesting spot. If you had to pick, like who, now that you've been around the U of H, you've been down there on that campus, and you've been to Orlando, and you've been to the bounce house, like who would you pick for like the best space connection? They both really duke it out over.
I think you got to go Houston, and here's why. I got a game next week at Rice. Okay, and as it's been brought to my attention, that stadium is really, really kind of porous, right? Where Rice plays. The reason it is still there is because it's a historic monument, because that's where Kennedy gave his "we're going to space" speech. So although that is not the University of Houston, it is Houston. And you got to say, if President Kennedy said that was the place he said we're going to the moon, then I'm sticking with that.
We don't do things because they're easy. We do things because they're hard. Yep.
That's it. And we need a little bit more of that mentality in America. But
I was there. I was there that day. No,
yeah,
I wasn't around for that. 80,000 that Rice Stadium holds. I mean, it's the most unnecessary capacity in the history of American sport. I mean, if they put 15 in there, it's a good week. And they got 80,000. It's crazy. But I like running around that stadium when I'm in Houston. There's a little jogging path around there. But you think Houston?
Oh, really?
Oh, right around. Yeah, and there's the old baseball park where Wayne Graham used to do his thing, the late, great Wayne Graham. And, oh, man, he had a great run, Rice baseball. And they've just never been able to really replace him. But no, the Rice campus is kind of underrated for some of, I mean, it's kind of Ivy. They're not Ivy League, but they're as close as we have in Texas. I think Rice.
It's a great school.
Rice and Baylor, okay?
Yeah.
The two most valued degrees you can have from the state of Texas, at least in my humble opinion. Pete, so we got so much going on, and I don't even think, have you mentioned to Scotty, like our big bet that we were thinking about?
I told him.
Yeah.
I told him that the bet was, and let me just, let's talk about consequences.
This is
or
Philly versus, this is Eagles versus Cowboys tonight, game one, get it on. Pete being from the mean streets of Philly, Mosley being from the Dallas area, the greater Dallas area, having grown up a Cowboys fan, Danny White, Drew Pearson, all the big ones. We just lost Leroy Jordan, sadly, one of the old great Cowboys.
That's a bummer.
Oh, he was great. He was great at Alabama, too. That's what Paul Bear Bryant used to say. If they're out there, if they're within the sidelines, Leroy will get them. He said something like that. Kind of growled it. Okay, yeah, tell the bet. What is the bet we're going to have between us?
So the bet is the loser, right, has to join the other person. It's basically just to sit in on their show.
Oh, the whole show. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So right now my show is 90 minutes. Yours is 2 hours. So you've already won.
Is that right? Do I have that option, Swingler, to do a 90-minute? And he was just very demanding of me. I think I'm going to go back. I think I'm going to scale this thing back to 90. I like that. 90 minutes. Does Pete always go 90? I would like to check this.
I started at 1.
I like to look at the watch on that. I'm going to start clocking you. Okay, so the bet is one of us has to do the other's show. I thought it was going to be like the other person has to take over the whole show, but it's fine. Because I thought that the punishment that day would be you have to do both shows. But I'm afraid, and I would use the opportunity to try to take all your subscribers. I mean, that is an enormous group you have on YouTube. That's the last thing you should have me doing is looking at subscribers. Because I was like, dang, Pete and Scotty have brought in the world over here. Y'all have done a great job. Okay, so that'll be the bet. As we get closer to kickoff, which is at about 7:15, 7:20 tonight, and all the pomp and circumstance, and do they still have the same? Is Carrie Underwood? Does she still sing the deal? Yeah. We'll have Carrie come out, do her whole thing. They'll probably have a new intro, perhaps. Are you, as an longtime Eagles fan and observer, do you subscribe to the theory? A lot of teams that hang the banner, and I know Sirianni for some crazy reason is like, we're not going to go out there. He's not going to have his players. Maybe he'll change his mind on that. By the way, Sal Powell was on with me yesterday, and he thought that was dumb. He thought that was like not letting he said his whole point was at the end of these guys' careers, when you hear them make the speech, they want to share everything with the fans and with the crowd. And so to not let the players coming off a world title be out there, connecting with the fans as the banner's raised, he found to be misguided, knowing what Sirianni's trying to do and accomplish. But in the long run, denying the fans and the players a really unique opportunity. So where do you stand on this? Are you kind of?
I have an immediate response. Like if I had Sal Powell on my show, right, I would probably agree with him because he would be my guest. But I would I'll push back a little bit because I think these guys have been on the banquet circuit for the whole off season. You want to see to it that they don't get, I don't know, soft. And I know they're pros and stuff like that, but we got a game to win tonight. And if you didn't get your connection in with the fans all off season and after you won the Super Bowl, that's I wouldn't say that's on you as a penalty, but I understand what he's doing. I kind of do.
Okay. I will say after the Mavericks,
I've always just to say as an aside, I've always thought that was kind of weird, right? Like we're going to have a celebration and a party before we take on an opponent in a game that counts. I've always been like, really? That's just big.
Yeah, but it's just such a cool spectacle. It's a fun thing, and for the fans to watch. And again, they'll have fun just watching the banner on their own. But for the players to be down there, now in the NBA, a lot of times it does go the wrong way on it. By the way, because the Mavericks, after their NBA title in 2011, they open with the Heat. They obviously they'd beaten the Heat in the championship. Whoever they opened with, crushed them, annihilated them. So there is a natural letdown or that takes place when you allow yourself to celebrate.
I think so. Yeah.
The biggest weakness for the Eagles, Sal Powell seemed to indicate that the Cowboys should throw and throw often.
Cornerback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're missing Slay. They traded the hyphenated guy, Gardner Johnson or whoever.
PJ Gardner Johnson.
Yeah, and the latest I have, Pete, and you may have already covered this on your show earlier today. I was driving down, and I usually am tuned in. Adoree Jackson will start at outside corner. Sidney Brown will start at safety. They think the rookie did practice all week. He won't start, but he'll play some, and that's at Andrew Makuba.
And it sounds like the mission is to make him the starter at some point, but it certainly seems like a vulnerable area for the Eagles, a team that's coming off, winning a championship with cornerbacks like Slay and Gardner Johnson. So I mean, that makes me a little cautious. I'll tell you what else makes me cautious. And it's not a position group; it's a coaching situation. With Kellen Moore out of there, he was really a bridge last year. And I don't know if Sal talked with you about this, but he was a bridge between Sirianni and Jalen Hurts, man. And that stuff, as quickly as it's you put a Band-Aid over it, it can come right back with the hardship. And we saw it after the Eagles lost the Super Bowl to the Chiefs. It was like you could say they, had a little step back or whatever. I mean, obviously they came back with a vengeance, but that's my biggest concern. Right? Not necessarily a place where the Cowboys can attack, but where time can maybe take a toll on those two in their relationship. Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. Keep an eye on how they're doing all season long relationship-wise. I think that's something that could bubble up at some point.
I'm thinking of that place's relationship with Jaws over the years, and then I had a first row view, and you did too. Although you were moving around the country by then doing other stuff, but I kind of can speak to the relationship with McNabb, the ups and downs of it, like that fan base had with him. And then Vic was an interesting one because at the very end of his career, he had a nice little run and had that one got him to the playoffs that one year when they thought Kevin Cobb was going to be the starter and their next quarterback, and Michael Vick ends up being the quarterback. And in a strange sort of way, that community kind of fell in love with Michael Vick. Maybe it was the fact that he'd been in prison and he was coming back from that, and there was just some kind of, I don't know. I think people were kind of rooting for him to
I think with Michael Vick, I think with Vick, he owned it. He was very front facing about how badly he screwed up, and was very tried to show a lot of congeniality, and he understood how badly he'd messed up, and I think that helped a great deal. And with Andy Reid in his corner and Tony Dungy behind him, big time.
And what people forget is that we used to debate Carson Wentz or Dak Prescott. Prescott got off to a great start in his career. Wentz, that Super Bowl season, had performed beautifully and was in the MVP conversation. And, of course, he's just barely hanging on in the NFL these days. He usually gets signed, right before the season. I can't remember where he is. But isn't that amazing to think that?
It is amazing.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing. And remember, there was all kinds of talk, and we could use the word scuttlebutt to describe it because nothing was confirmed. But I think our guy Howard Eskin was in the middle of it, right? These Philly reporters that Carson Wentz was not a big favorite in the locker room, and it was pretty apparent that the team would get behind just about anybody else they put out there under center. And truly, we saw that with Nick Foles going to the Super Bowl. And then Wentz did not have much time after that. I mean, he didn't perform. So that was like a double-edged sword. He never came back from his injury, and I think he had lost the locker room even before he went down that Super Bowl year.
I don't know why Eskin and I hit it off. I think on the surface, we probably shouldn't have hit it off, and he's a famous radio guy from WIP in Philly for people that don't know, but I did always get a kick out of the fact that the guy doing sidelines for Philadelphia, most people doing sidelines are just real hardworking dudes, right? Or women. doing their job. They're not, down there trying to put, and Eskin would always come in from having done sidelines for the broadcast, and he would arrive at the post-game news conference with, at times, I'm not saying he did this every time, but if it was cold, he might have a fur coat on, almost like the one Joe Namath showed up in one time.
Oh, yeah.
It was just so funny to imagine, why he would have, why he did that. But I do also remember, I couldn't remember if it was here or him or Angelo Cataldi. He was, I think one of them worshipped Jimmy Johnson. That would have been Howard.
Oh, it was Howard.
Yeah, because he liked Miami, right? He liked the Miami Hurricanes. Yeah. But it was just, there was a relationship with the Hurricanes, and they were an East Coast team. But people in Philly, that's interesting. I think there was.
Well, we don't have anybody. We don't have any. We have Temple.
Yeah.
If you want to say Penn State, that's okay. But there is not like that kind of college football like there is in Texas. I mean, Micah Parsons went to Penn State, and he kind of claims Philly, and he would have come back. One of his favorite places to play would have been the Eagles. But of course, Jerry shut that deal down. No surprise.
Yeah, wasn't that interesting that the Eagles had jumped in there, and man, the thought of the Eagles being willing to perhaps sacrifice their vaunted rush defense. I mean, how could they have possibly been thinking of bringing in Micah Parsons? It could have really hurt them in the run game. Isn't that amazing?
Real liability. You're right. I think you're into something.
Isn't that amazing? The mental, the logical weirdness in the gymnastics you have to do mentally to get to the point where you convince yourself that you've helped yourself big time by trading the greatest pass rusher in the game. The truth is, the Eagles were unbelievable last year, had a ton of takeaways. In fact, I think the Eagles and the Ravens, I can't remember. I remember looking this up. One of them had the bigger sack total. It might have been the Ravens. I think the Ravens had more sacks, but the Eagles had more takeaways. And I promise you, they don't have anyone like Micah. They just have a bunch of dudes who can get penetration at the line. They have, pretty good pass rushers, and they just play as a team, which is so Cowboys because, and boy, Sal Pal also made this point that you would enjoy. Roseman, I was going to bring this up with, you're a good person to bring this up with. So I've known Howie Roseman for years now. He went with Chip Kelly got there, and everybody thought, oh, Chip Kelly, I mean, it's going to be a big deal, and Chip's going to do a great job. And Chip was measuring everybody's urine to see, he was just doing a bunch of weird stuff. But when he showed up on the scene, they gave him so much power that Howie Roseman was basically relegated to like a cubicle or something. I think he basically had to move out of his office as the acting, GM, head scout, head personnel guy, and Chip was running the show, and they deferred. And this is one of the most amazing comebacks, and people don't always talk about this, that when they fired Chip, Lurie goes, all right, Howie, get back in there, man. Get back in the game. All right, get back in your office. You're back. You're back in charge. And he's gone on this unbelievable run. And whether it was with Peterson and obviously, now it's with Sirianni. And as Sal said, he's headed toward the Hall of Fame. He's headed toward the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And it sounds crazy. And the truth is he's so much more of a GM than Jerry is. Jerry's in the Hall of Fame because of innovation and because of Jimmy and because of so many things. This guy will end up in the Hall of Fame because he won Super Bowls with two different quarterbacks, constructing two different teams.
And it's amazing because, Philly fans, you know how they are. They were, even after that first Super Bowl, they were still kind of hard on him when there was a little slippage maybe, right, in the year after. And, the guy just continues to make deals that make sense, to stay away from trouble and toxic stuff. And even finding a way, like we talked about at the top of this interview, to mend the fences through Kellen Moore, between Jalen and Nick Sirianni. He has his hands all over that. Howie Roseman does. He really, and it's amazing now to see him get props nationally. And that's got to eat Jerry up. I mean, everybody talks about how the Eagles are like the gold standard in personnel. And the Cowboys, it kind of, it is what it is. It's been 30-some years, It's a bummer for them.
Yeah, it's a bummer for everybody involved. Pete, I tell you,
let me ask you one question.
Yeah,
let me ask you one question before we go.
Yeah,
because I like this Simon Gooden thing. Do you believe there is hope for the Cowboys this year? Like, is this a playoff team? Because I think even tonight, right? Kenny Clark is going to play. Micah Parsons probably would not have played. He may not play for the Packers. I'm talking like injury-wise. So in game one, and I know if you were to do the whole thing, right, long term, it's a terrible deal losing Michael and for what they got compensation-wise. But right now, like, the Cowboys maybe are better tonight after this deal, tonight. And going forward, if they can go 1 week at a time and use that offense to score points and do just enough defensively, they can get in the playoffs. Like, it's not over for them this year. I think we're way too reactive to the Micah trade that people just completely put the Cowboys out of the picture, and I don't know that that's true.
Yeah, I mean, I love your optimism, and I love that you somehow called that Baylor turnaround when the rest of us had already made some firings. We were looking at coaches. Pete rallied with the Bears, and I can squint and see your argument tonight in this game. It'll be very, very interesting to see how the Eagles. I could see the Cowboys getting off to a fast start. Do I see them winning this game? I do not. And I think that now, do I see the Cowboys covering and me winning this bet with you? I would say yes. The line is, what did we say, 8? Did you see 8?
Yeah.
I do think the Cowboys might find a way to cover. It's a fairly big number for this style of game and who all's involved. But the worst thing that could happen for Cowboys fans in America is for the Cowboys to win this game. I mean, it would I think they would just be, it would be, they would almost treat it like a bigger deal than a Super Bowl. Knocking off the defending champs to open the season, it would be treated as bigger than anything they've done in the last 30 years. And so in some ways, it'd be kind of funny to see it happen, and we would enjoy reacting to that. And so we'll see. But I don't like, I don't like straight up. I don't like the Cowboys to pull this off. Now, they'll be huge as we get toward this game. Here's what happens. You people like betting on UT. They like betting on, I'm talking about Texas. They like betting on Alabama in college. Huge brands, and people love betting on the Dallas Cowboys. So this line, there may be even a little bit more movement as we go. Well, it's been great, Pete, having you. It's great
chatting, Matt.
It's great to not be on my little Insta 360 camera, which follows my every move, and to just have a big boy camera that zeroes in on, and it just kind of, I don't know, man. I mean, we have really taken this to another level. So thank you. Great. Always fun catching up with you. Have safe travels, and then check out those new Rice uniforms. They're getting out the icy blues or whatever you call those this week.
Well, they play Houston, so I'll keep an eye on that.
That's across town. That's a crosstown rival, and that'll get your guy the inside the 12. That show you do with the former Rice quarterback, that's going to get him excited. A crosstown rival like that.
Awesome.
That'll get him rolling. All right, buddy. Enjoyed having you.
All right, man. Thanks, Matt. Later.
There he goes. Pete Sousa on the Matt Mosley Show. Now, I'll tell you what, Scotty, if it's cool with you, can we do here after the break, can we do a little campus? Would you be good? Okay, Scotty's over there. Scotty's got several laptops. I think Elizabeth really liked that segment, and Pete, always good to have him on, especially with him heading out on assignment as he gets ready to do UCF and North Carolina A&T. A&T. What does A&T stand for? Something maybe like agriculture and technology? Acrobatics and tumbling? I thought Scotty is today. He's a jokester, which I like. Acrobatics and tumbling. I like that. That's what Baylor owns that sport. If you invent a sport, which is what Coach Mulkey, we call her Fee, some of us that know her, Felicia Mulkey is her full name. If you invent a sport, you should be good at the sport. And Baylor certainly is. And I don't believe in the era of Fee Mulkey moving to Waco, I do not believe the Bears have ever lost a national title every year. And I think Joe Isuzu or whoever they go up against, a Pacific Isuzu or something, they try. And they do good recruiting. They're out there, spending some NIL money. But the Baylor acrobats are the best acrobats. They are the best this country has to offer. Okay, it's the Mosley Show. We continue. It is time for something we call Campus Confidential.
Are you ready to take control of your health? At 4U Health, we believe wellness and lab testing should be accessible, inclusive, and yes, fun. With our tech-powered at-home lab test, you save time and money while feeling your best. Say goodbye to long waits and office visits. Check your health on your own terms with 4U Health. Visit 4uhealth.com today and free yourself from traditional medicine. That's the number 4uhealth.com. Get ready for epic savings at Best Buy. Right now, you can save up to $700 on select Alienware and Dell gaming products. Perfect for leveling up your gaming experience. Plus, grab the latest Android Google Pixel at an unbeatable price. Don't miss these incredible deals. Shop now at bestbuy.com and upgrade your tech today. At Fullwell, we bring together the expertise of registered dietitians, MDs, and OBGYNs to give you the best fertility support. Our research-backed bioavailable formulas are crafted with your health in mind, ensuring the highest quality and safety. From preconception to pregnancy and beyond, we exceed industry standards with independent testing for harmful contaminants. With our comprehensive practitioner directory, personalized care is always within reach. Fullwell, your trusted partner on your fertility journey. Visit us at fullwellfertility.com. Experience the perfect blend of exquisite craftsmanship and life-changing technology with Gevi. Every product is built with precision, featuring specialized parts that ensure durability, efficiency, and safety. We put every machine through 6,000 rigorous tests to guarantee long-lasting performance. With cutting-edge technology and a commitment to energy efficiency, Gevi makes your life easier, greener, and more convenient. Upgrade your everyday with Gevi. Visit us at gevi.com to discover more. That's gevi.com.
Have you ever watched true crime television and wondered, how did they get that story?
I can show you. I was a producer for 48 Hours on CBS News.
In my exclusive tell-all book, I'll take you where no audience has ever gone before. Don't miss out. Secure your copy of Killer Story, The Truth Behind True Crime Television today. Available everywhere books are sold.
With San, owning iconic furniture no longer requires paying a premium. We use the finest materials like Italian top-grain leather, known for its durability and luxurious feel, and apply meticulous attention to detail in every piece we create. Our replicas are crafted with the same care and precision as the originals, but a price that makes them accessible. With over 15,000 satisfied customers worldwide, we've proven that high-quality furniture doesn't have to come with a high price tag. Explore our collection today at san.com.
At Covers & All, we've revolutionized protective solutions with cutting-edge, customizable covers, tarps, and curtains. Using advanced tech fabrics that are 100% waterproof, UV tear, and abrasion-resistant, we ensure lasting durability with hand-sewn double-stitch seams. Our commitment to quality, precision engineering, and customizable options is unmatched. With vertically integrated operations and express shipping, we deliver premier protection at affordable prices. Visit coversandall.com today for the perfect fit, guaranteed to last.
We haven't been looking for you. Wake up.
Hellhound Country, available anywhere you get your podcasts. Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com.
Matt Mosley show. And, man, I was just looking it up. And you see our sponsors back there. And it's just so Cherry, Johnson, Sigmund, and James, the official law firm of the Matt Mosley show. Just this morning, I heard, and it's right across the street from our studios right now, over at Schmaltz's. Scotty, you'll love knowing. Schmaltz is just like, where do we sign? Where do we come on? We want to get it. I mean, they have missed being associated with the Mosley show. So I'm like, hey, let's go. Here we go. Let's go. I was just looking on the website, and you can find the Cherry Johnson, Sigmund James, CJSJlaw.com. And the Johnson part of this law firm just won some huge award, like the top 10 trucking lawyer, like in America. Whoa. I mean, this thing just continues to everybody. I mean, a lot of the attorneys there just continue to get all these awards, but I just thought I would share that with you. That's pretty cool. Trucking, if you're in the plaintiff's world, these trucking cases are huge. Some of the settlements these guys have landed are amazing. And so I just wanted to bring you to that. And I'm just looking at all their attorneys and associates. Wow. I mean, this is a who's who in the legal community. Scotty, if you and I ever, there's the pictures. Look at this guy. Like, one of the partners is named Jack Shaw. Like, I would like Jack Shaw just to represent me for the rest of my life. You can just see the guy. He's just like, he would be out there fighting for you like crazy. Here's Katie Quillen. I mean, this is just amazing. Some of the people they have signed up. There's Ryan Johnson, who I was just talking about, one of the partners, one of the named partners in that law firm, and he's the one that went out and won this huge verdict, and now has been named one of the top truck lawyers. And that's a huge part of like what happens in that world. I went to law school. I don't know if I told Elizabeth that. Elizabeth's with us today, kind of observing, picking up some bad habits probably. But 7:30 a.m. Boy, she acts that Act Waco show, and she gets with it. But this law firm here, the trucking industry, it's as good as it gets. And Ryan Johnson, somebody I wanted to brag on a little bit. All right, Scotty, it is time for something we call Campus Confidential. And Scotty is, he's just making his way around the studio here. This is his lair. I mean, he is dominant when it comes over here. And what you'll see any minute now is just a wonderful graphic come up. And it lets everybody know what time it is, because it is time for Campus. Oh, there it is. Campus Confidential. And Scotty gets heavily involved in this. Lots of opinions, Lots of thoughts. Scotty didn't know I was going to throw down such a thought on this Barstool thing, but the whole thing kind of, again, I love Brett Yormark and I love what he does, but don't come out here giving blank slates away when you don't have full buy-in from your members. You don't. To pretend, you think my man Tom, HOLMOE, I believe he's the director of athletics out there at BYU, to pretend that Tom is out there like, yes, we would love to be with Barstool. Bring them in. Come on, man. Be real about this thing, all right? Don't be giving blank slates away. Scotty Swingler, who's over there nursing on something called a Hocus Focus from Dichotomy. Thank you, Dichotomy, for getting us fueled up for today's show. We've got great coffee, drinks. You got part of the day, you got the coffee, and then later in the day, you have the spirits. And the spirit moves right over there at Dichotomy. I really could have been in advertising. I think I could give them some good things to use, some good slogans.
I think Corey's looking for someone to join the sales team here at Rogue Media if you're interested.
I play one on TV. You see me. I sprint real hard in sales. Hey, here I am to help. And then I disappear for a good while. And then at some point somebody will say, Mosley, we need you again. I'll go over there and I'll get involved. But we're very fortunate to have a great sales team Scotty wears a lot of hats. He's great on the on air, or he does a lot of good stuff here. But then we have a really talented young, and we. I was about to say something that she wouldn't have appreciated, but we have a more veteran salesperson that's joined us here recently, and she and I have worked together for years, and she's going to do some great things as well, as we just have more and more people realizing we just have the ability, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcast, all the various platforms that we have a big reach. And then we can also put your brand on TV. That's what we do. We put videos. You see the great Central National Bank. Love CNB. Thank you, presenting sponsor, CNB, for what you do. Thank you, Brian Fonville. Thank you, Joe Nesbitt and the whole Nesbitt family. Thank you for what you do. Today I've been doing a lot of whispering. Very kind of a stage whisper. I really should have been like a stage actor.
A thespian.
Like Shakespeare, kind of a Shakespearean actor. Because I can, especially when I'm here and I have these great headset, I think I can
maybe
do
one day you and I should just
breathing.
We should just come in here and recite some Shakespeare scenes at some point.
I would like to. I used to do in the Cowboys workroom. There was this one guy that he still covers the Cowboys, so he'll remain nameless. And we found some of his.
I have a couple guesses, but
we found some of his writing on Cowboys.com to be a little over the top. And so I would do dramatic readings in the workroom, and it was good.
Did you hear me doing McConaughey on Pete's show a couple days ago?
Give me just a little bit.
All right. What's the subject matter?
Act like you're doing a Lincoln commercial, or just take Arch. Tell me how Arch is going to bounce back from a tough outing.
Well, Matt, I'll tell you what. If you'd read my book's called Green Lights. And here's the thing, man. When you hit adversity, it's really easy. You can see the red flags, or you can see the green lights. I'm going to tell you something about that young man, Arch Manning. Did you read the last name on the back of his jersey? Manning. He's going to see the green lights. When you pull up to a green light, you drive right on through that intersection. You keep going. You find the next light, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. For these Texas Longhorns, let me tell you, as the minister of culture, is a national championship. That's it, Buckaroo.
Yeah, see, it's better if you don't. I like to not look at you and then try to kind of see if you're truly channeling, and you've got the cadence, the tone, the voice. I think you're almost a little lower than him somehow, but your pacing is good, and you're cutting off of the word like that. You gotta nice.
You gotta fade the word down. I was literally telling Elizabeth earlier today. I said, you generally, when I do impressions, that's how it works. I can never quite get the perfect vocal inflection, but I can get the cadences of almost anybody. Yeah.
Your cadence is good.
That's and to me, that's actually the more important part of a funny impression.
Yeah,
is the cadence.
I was in law school when his first big hit movie came out.
All right,
and it was no, not that one, but it was A Time to Kill, and that was his first like huge breakout movie where he was the lead, and he had the Southern accent, and he was leaning into it so hard. And it was driving my sister and other buddies of mine so nuts because I started talking in that Southern. You
think Matthew McConaughey's ever been to Kaufman?
He's been to Kaufman County, but in that movie, there was a lot of sweat involved. Whoever he was married, Sandra Bullock showed up in that movie.
That dude sweats constantly, and supposedly doesn't wear deodorant.
Yeah, I believe that. I bet now that when he's on campus and he's on the sideline, I bet he puts a little deodorant on.
If it wasn't good enough for Jesus Christ, it's not good enough for me. You think Jesus was putting on Old Spice going around, splitting loaves and fishes for 5,000 men? None of those men were wearing deodorant.
They did put perfumes on. There were are they anointing type oils and things?
Oh, well, I bathe in olive oil twice a day.
I made you to do a show only with McConaughey.
We had the Campus Confidential logo up.
That's good.
This entire
Nobody
time.
will ever sponsor it after that start.
Bear the Truth says there's a little Jerry Jones in that Matthew. I'm not sure. I feel like I could do Jerry, and that would be a little different. Oh, you see, Jerry's more up here.
We're going to do Brazos Landing, but if you're going to do those kinds of things, we need a studio audience. We need to do one show at some point as we continue to grow and climb Mount 86,000 subscribers. I think what's our huge venue over here? The old the old place they used to have. I used to go to church there.
The Hippodrome.
I love the Hippodrome. I'd love to do a show at the Hippodrome. I've been invited to do something over there to like MC an event. I don't really like MCing. I do like speaking, but I would like to do a live show at the Hippodrome and just sell that place out. A Mosley Swingler. I think we need to kind of work on our
variety show.
Yeah, and I'll
get out my
a little bit like Garrison Keillor. We would bring out people that could do things. Like people that could strum on the guitar or the banjo.
We could name the show that. People who do things.
People who strum on things.
Well,
is that weird?
Little bit.
Isn't there some little cafe over there or something?
There's all kind of cafe.
Didn't they bring out Paul to do a little comedy set over there? But isn't there like a little
I was literally about to say, you and I could chop it up. Paul could come up, do his stand-up, and it could be a whole Rogue Media spectacular. We got to wait till after football season, though. There's too much going on.
Paul would have to get permission to whether he can talk to me or not. Okay, it is the Matt Mosley Show. It's time for Campus Confidential. What do you have for us? As we do, for those of you new to the show, bear the truth, all the people out there commenting, tell everybody this is good. Oh, and we're going to have, speaking of like Sick'em 365, Ashley's coming on. And he owns that. We've got a nice little partnership with him. We can do it tomorrow. We could do it. Tomorrow is kind of a Cowboys reaction. We could do it next week. But we'll talk Baylor basketball. We'll talk Baylor football. And then we're going to bring a lot of that Sick'em crowd. We're going to, like, hey, guys, the water's fine. Come over here to the Mosley Show. I know you like the little type and be tough guys, but Mosley's here. And you want some of this. So we're gonna bring him over and get him involved a little bit. But he's a good friend. In fact, years ago, I had a chance. Brian and Colt and Ashley sat down and asked me to be a founding member of the deal. And of course, in typical Mosley fashion, I was like, that sounds like too much work. I don't want to. I mean, they were just kind of like, I probably should. I mean, who knows? I don't know even how the thing's doing. I'm sure it's doing fine.
Matt Mosley was a green light.
Mosley could have taken that thing to another level.
You saw that green light and you chose to stop. that Baylor green light.
I did. Just the sight of Etheridge made me stop. No, he's a good friend. They're all good friends. Come on, we're all in God's way. Come on, hit me with some Campus Confidential. This is where we do the college headlines. I was going to do an abbreviated show today. What time is it? We're going to go straight to like.
Let's do this abbreviated.
3.
Let's do this abbreviated.
Hit me some headlines and I'll react to them.
Let me give you 2. Give me
5.
Because I don't have 5. I had 3, and one of them is quite depressing.
Ooh.
Let's start with this one. This one's pretty neutral.
Start with the depressing one. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Depressing one. Okay.
No, you're fine. Whatever you want.
Depressing one. Well, you called it. Here it is. Florida State freshman Ethan Pritchard is stable after he was shot
that's
in the head. It is good that he's stable. He was shot in the head. It looks like, reading this article on ESPN.com, it was just like an accidental kind of a, caught in the crossfire kind of situation. He was driving a car. Anyway,
you really seem like you got this thing cold.
Well, listen, bro. There's a lot going on today.
I could tell you were wanting to do it in like McConaughey voice, and then you're like,
this guy went through a green light and got shot.
That's right. The key part is he's stable. We're celebrating. He's okay, but that's a crazy deal. Florida State, shocking win, just just crush Alabama. Everybody wants DeBoer out of there. DeBoer, by the way, I've looked at some of his stuff this week. That's not good because he's not, you know how the big man, the heir to the bear, how Saban would have handled this week. And DeBoer's kind of done. Did I say that? Did I say we had good practices? He's been weird and quirky. And let me just tell you, when you're hiring a coach at the University of Alabama, you can't go hire weird and quirky.
No.
He may be great.
Let's be clear. Nick Saban's weird and quirky, but he's weird and quirky about being do everything you can to win football.
I don't think he's weird or quirky.
He's a little
I
weird.
think he is just flat out hard A in the same vein as Parcells.
He's a little weird.
Belichick and the rest of them.
You know who else is weird and quirky?
Who?
Thank you guys so much for being here. It's way cool. It's way cool.
I think he is cool. I think he's a cool guy.
Yeah, way cool.
You call it quirky and weird.
We're all disappointed.
No, I think I have his voice down. It's like
Let's hear it. Yeah.
He's I kind of want to be on this show for a while before I start doing.
No, we can do some Dave Aranda impressions. It's okay.
But there's always a little something that's going on. And he's like, "Hey guys, good to see. Good to see you." See, I can't. This mic's throwing me off. I think I need to be in a different headspace. But he's just like it's like, okay, I've got to think about it because I could. If I had to do an RC Slocum, I could do it in a heartbeat. But it's hard to get in the right headspace of Dave. Okay, Dave's more like, "Hey guys, good to see you today. Appreciate the question, Scotty, and appreciate Paul being here. Paul's come in hot today with some good takes and good questions. I appreciate it because to me, the whisper has just a little bit of. He's also been hollering,
right?
And so there's a tad bit of some kind of like he needs a drink of water or he needs his little something. So yeah, let me work on that a little bit.
Way cool.
No, that's
you've
all we're doing is just whispering in our own voice.
This week he literally this week was like, I told him they're a good team and the wins are coming. The wins are coming. It's like, thanks, coach. Really inspiring there.
Yeah, that was the only thing I had a real like where I really he resonated with me was when he talked about his daughters going off to college. And I like as sad as I am about dropping my daughter off, especially that she's going to A&M. Golly, man, not getting to go and then not seeing your son's first varsity game. Ooh, I felt bad. I did. Again, he makes $5 million a year and he chose this profession. But that doesn't mean I can't feel bad for him because like every father and every parent, and you'll do it one day, Scotty. Unfortunately for you, you're 16 years away, but you got to go drop that little girl off. And that's tough, man, because she's always your little girl. Well, you can say that and keep saving because Baylor by then will be about $160,000 a year.
More than that. Yeah.
It'll double. No, something has to happen. Oh, I got a thing that the A&M put out, and it was like we have the Board of Regents has voted, and we will freeze tuition through 2027. Hello, state school. I mean, again, I wanted her to go here. Baylor was unbelievable, and they gave us the greatest. It was not about that. For some reason, she decided to go be an Aggie. But that was nice news to get. They're freezing tuition for the next few years, and I'm paying for college.
That is nice.
And her mom. All right, what else do we have? Do you have anything less sad? Or to me, that was a hopeful story. A man gets shot in the back of the head and lives, and he'll probably be lining up next week. That's how college
his
football
team did
works.
Win. Fox College Football announced today that game between Texas and Ohio State
did a
was
good number.
Most watched Week 1 college football game in history. 16.6 million viewers for Texas Ohio State. By the way, what a disappointing game for 17 million people to watch. It's kind of a snooze fest. Like, maybe I'm spoiled by Big 12 football, Matt, but 14-7 is just not my ideal of a terrific football game when you've got Arch Manning back there.
No, by the way, genius move by whoever at Fox. Just decided, you know what? Game day has to go to a game too, and they're not going to show one of their better games. ESPN's not going to put a great game in that 11 slot for any teams. Let's just put a freaking great game or the best Big Ten game we can find, or any game, because they can put Big 12 on as well, and let's stick them on right there at 11. It was I'm not saying I love that show. And I understand that people probably still watch Game Day more than Big Noon, but that was a great decision, because it's like that makes us more relevant to have a lead in, have a huge game, and there we are. But it's always a little unstable when Game Day and Fox Big Noon go to the same place. That's like a weird Anchorman type rumble. That's an odd. Have we ever had that here? We've had great games, but I think when Oklahoma and Baylor played a few years ago and Baylor was really good, I think Fox Big Noon came and it was not Game Day. I don't think we've ever had them both. When they both decide to go.
We've had both here separately, yeah.
Yeah, they've both been here, but
Correct.
not on the same weekend.
Correct.
Yeah, I think it's very unstable when they both show up. And one gets to have Dave Portnoy. Like who?
And the other has
like,
Pat McAfee.
It's the most. Well, at least Pat McAfee played, and I mean, if you love him or hate him, he's got some
Was
tie-in
like a good
stuff.
football player.
Yeah, he has a tie-in to football. I mean, Dave Portnoy does pizza. He does like pizza reviews.
And the ghost of Baylor past or unhappy. Hey, this is a great transition, actually, to the last thing I wanted to bring up. And I really should have brought this up Monday or Tuesday, but
This
we've
is
had
Dr. Reynolds. I'm back.
The impressions have gotten out of hand.
The only
here
impression
in Studio 3, floor
have
21.
we have to be whispering.
Alico building.
Yeah.
My God. A good transition. You talked about Big Noon Kickoff and Game Day being in the same place. Big Noon Kickoff did a very classy move, I thought, in a nation where it's so easy to divide over things. We came together over loving Lee Corso on his final broadcast with ESPN College Game Day. But Matt, did you see over the weekend? If you don't believe in God, maybe you'll believe in the football gods, because Matt, Lee Corso coached or played for 5 schools during his career, and he made 6 picks on College Game Day. Did you know every single one of those teams won over the course of the weekend, including he was the only panelist to pick Florida State to upset Alabama. And when it happened, I said, well, there he goes. He's nuts. Guess what?
He got it.
Lee went perfect on his final appearance on College Game Day. I think that is the story of the year.
I like it. I like that. And it tells you that college football.
These weren't easy games to pick, by the way. Florida State over Bama. He picked LSU over Clemson, Miami over Notre Dame, and Ohio State over Texas.
And that tells you that college football is rigged. I think that.
Oh.
I think we now know.
Oh. Here I am trying to celebrate a legend, and Mosley's going to be the conspiracy theorist on the show.
I am.
It is your show. You can say what
I am. No, it's great. You know who he coached at Florida State? What famous person would he have coached at Florida State? At least I think he was there when this guy was playing.
He played at Florida State.
Or he may have played with this person.
Did he coach there as well? I think he only played there.
Okay. Well,
I do not know.
You say what you want to say. Who do
well,
you?
ChatGPT.
Who else?
He only played there.
Who else played at Florida State around the same time Lee Corso would have been hanging out there?
I do not know.
Burt Reynolds.
And we've connected the dots.
There you go. There you go. And you know who did not like? I mean, even though he was unbelievable in it, you know who hates Boogie Nights? Burt Reynolds. He just thought he thought it was like it's racy and there was like too much going. And it was, by the way, it was pretty rough. It's pretty rough watch. I finally watched it years later. It's an interesting watch. Have you seen Boogie Nights?
No.
Okay.
Matt, you know my work schedule. Do I have time to watch TV or movies? No, I do not.
Someday I want to tell you my story about what an Angels manager one time a guy went down He said, to Skip, I'm so sorry. I was on deadline and I missed it. And the answer from that old Gene Mock, the old Angels manager, was one of the greatest answers that's ever been given. I wish I could give you that answer right now, but it's too profane.
It's too racy.
I think there's that right there sounded more like church lady. No. That sounded like Dana Carvey doing old George Bush.
Yes. There you go.
What you just found a voice inflection that was total Dana Carvey. Scotty, it's been great. Isn't it fun to have Liz in here with us? I don't know if she even goes by that. I've just invented that for her. But that would sound good on screen and on podcasts. Hey, this is Liz. But if she wants to be Elizabeth, that's great. It's kind of a royal name. But it's been fun having her in today. We had guests drop by from Steam. I didn't even know what that. I thought that was like literally like a steam room or something, but it's the Baylor STEM and Technology or something. What were they with? Huh?
I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to get Pete. I was trying to get Pete on the phone when they poked their head in.
I need you to pay attention. Elizabeth, do we know what those people were doing? Or is something? I think it's maybe a Baylor. Like they seem very smart, and it has something to do with like STEM, which is like technology and things like that. So great to have them come by today. And it's good to see Mike in there. Mike's looking real thin. I don't know if he's on a health kick or what's happening, but really looks like he's slimmed down. So good for him. Perhaps he's eating some protein. Thanks for everybody. Pete Sousa was really good today. Just to be able to interview a man, and I can just see his photo, but in a turtleneck. He just seems like such a turtleneck guy. It's unbelievable. Now that you think about it. And once you've seen him in a turtleneck, you can't undo that. And you know at every holiday party, he's showing up in a turtleneck. Very, very kind man. And a man who tried today to make the argument that the Cowboys might be good. That he's kind of a hopeful guy. And I think that's good. It's good to be around optimistic folks. It is the Matt Mosley Show. That has been The Landing. The Brazos Landing. I talked to Becky Lindsay today. We'll be there later this month. We'll be on site there. And I would today, as I leave this Fairburg, I will drop by the Brazos Landing, and I will, on my way out of the city limits, I will not stop like I've done for years at the check stop. I will not stop at the New Buc-ee's in Hillsboro. I will stop and get the Bang Bang Shrimp. Whoa. Dave Aranda goes by there. Sometimes he'll just say, could you bring a plate? Could you just bring a plate out to the parking lot?
That Bang Bang Shrimp is way cool.
No, see, that was too loud. You gave it too much. It was way too loud. He does not talk that.
That Bang Bang Shrimp is way cool.
It's like the Bang Bang. I need a Bang Bang. I'm kind of out of voice today, but if you bring some Bang Bang and one of those chicken fried steaks and whatever y'all making in that New Orleans bourbon.
I was thinking about how we were going to beat SMU.
Bar.
If we're going to beat SMU, we gotta kick them in the teeth, kind of like that Bang Bang Shrimp over at Brazos Landing.
We got to hit those running backs. I got a lot of them over there. They're back to paying players again, okay, like they did in the 80s.
It's time to go.
The last time Baylor, no, we're back. The last time Baylor beat the SMU Mustangs beat the Baylor Bears, I just have discovered this after a lot of research, 1986. The Bears have held the upper hand for going on, what was that, 50 years?
39
years? I missed it by 11 years. That's some good math. Get those steam people back in here. Love a good steamer. For Scotty Swingler and Elizabeth, this has been the Matt Mosley Show. Thank you, Ascension Providence. Thank you guys a lot. I'll be dropping by. I'm going to come in for one of those full workups. All right. Let you have my blood, look at that cholesterol, and see if these statins are helping at all. It is for the Brazos Landing, Cherry Johnson, Sigmund and James, and CNB, our presenting sponsor, Central National Bank. It is Matt Mosley signing off. We'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock straight up.
Football season is back, and Underdog is the best place for you to make picks and win money all season long. And playing on Underdog, it's easy. Even I can do it. You just pick whether your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on particular stats like touchdowns or even interceptions, and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. And you can play with as little as $1. So this week, let me show you what I'm looking at. This week, I am picking two of my favorite teams, and some of their best players. For Thursday night's big game, Dallas at Philadelphia, I've got George Pickens going over 49.5 receiving yards. Good debut for him. And we know it's going to happen against a great defense like the Eagles. Dak Prescott higher than half an interception thrown. For the big game Saturday, Baylor at SMU. My guy Bryson Washington is going to get into the end zone. I've got him at higher than half of a rushing or receiving touchdowns. And listen, Baylor looked awful against the quarterback run last week, so I've got Kevin Jennings of SMU rushing for more than 29.5 yards. And hey, if you want to play along with me today, you can sign up with a promo code Mosley to score $50 in a bonus fund when you play your first $5. You play $5, you'll get $50 in a bonus fund. That's promo code Mosley. Millions of fans have already made billions making picks on Underdog. Will you be next? Underdog. Make picks. Win money. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play-and-get-terms_DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467-369.